Up next on The Bottom Line, a look back at some of our favorite FaceTime interviews from this year, including a candid conversation with one of this county's most successful residents, a bittersweet goodbye for a popular local leader, and Einstein High School bids farewell to its beloved counselor. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Susan Kennedy. It's one of the leading lodging companies worldwide, and it's headquartered right here in Montgomery County. When you mention the name Marriott, quality and customer service usually comes to mind. And the company's executive chairman, Bill Marriott, wouldn't have it any other way. Back in September, we got some FaceTime with this corporate icon, and his bottom line, consistency.
We're extremely proud of our association with the Marriott family and with Marriott International. And there's no doubt that without Bill Marriott's vision, courage, commitment, and love for the city, which is very genuine, heartfelt, as you'll hear, and without the great company that he's created, we just wouldn't be here today.
Tell us a little bit about what you learned from your father as far as being a leader and growing a business.
I think one of the most important is consistency. We've always had high standards, but consistent standards. Back in the old days, the hot shop, there was about a 10-page book for our waitresses on how to dress, how to provide the proper makeup, make sure their stocking seams were straight back in the old days. And then we had how to present a plate to the table and how to clear a table and never pick the glass up like this. You always had to pick it up from the side so you didn't get your hands on where the people would drink. So lots of details that were part of the consistent service program.
My dad's favorite story was about the guy that came down for breakfast in the morning, and the waitress met him, came up to the table, and she said to him, "What do you have for breakfast?" He said, "Eggs over easy," and some kind words, and she came back with the eggs, put them down, turned around. He said, "What about those kind words?" She said, "Don't eat them eggs."
My dad always believed in hard work, and he believed in treating people fairly and providing opportunity for them. As he grew the business, he'd hire these kids off the street, teach them how to cook. They'd become cooks in the hot shop and sometimes become managers. And today, 50% of the general managers of our hotels all started out as hourly workers.
What is the hardest part of being at the top of this industry in this day and age?
Well, I think innovation and keeping up with the trends today. Everything is changing so fast. Technology was not even an issue when I started the business. A typewriter was all you needed in your office. Today you've got these complex systems and computers, and everybody's carrying an iPhone and they want to check in. We just introduced mobile check-in in 300 hotels, so you can check in from your iPhone no matter where you are on the road, get your room assignment, you pick up your key at the desk and go straight to your room. So this is the kind of stuff that's changing that makes it so challenging today, is that all the technology and the people that are basically under 40 are all technocrats. They don't know how to talk to each other, they just text each other. And so consequently, keeping up with that part of the business is a real challenge today.
I love this city. I was born here. I'm delighted we're giving it a state-of-the-art convention hotel.
Montgomery County is where you call home for Marriott. You've been here for as long as the company's been around. You're the second largest employer here in Montgomery County as well, right?
That's right.
You're the second largest employer here with over 5,000 employees. Why is this a good place to call home for Marriott?
Well, you know, in the hotel business, we say location, location, location. Makes for a successful hotel. It's a beautiful county, lovely homes, good schools, good hospitals, good health care, friendly people, and it's just got it's a pleasant place to live.
I read a few of your blog entries, and I like how you include excerpts about your family in there frequently. You talked about going up to New Hampshire, and family has always been really important to you. In fact, I even read it once that you made it a point to be home for dinner every night with your family, which is really tough in today's world for a lot of working people. Why did you feel that that was something that you needed to do?
Well, I thought that children in today's economy and environment need to grow up with a father and a mother. And if the father's there and living at home, he should be there for dinner. Now, you know, what would happen is I'd show up at 6:15, we'd have dinner. By 7 o'clock, I'd finish with my wife with the dishes, and we'd be ready to go. Kids would do their homework. I'd do my homework till 9 or 10 o'clock at night. We'd go to bed. The next day, we'd have dinner again. So every time I was in Washington, unless I had a compelling reason not to be there, I was home for dinner every night.
After serving 2 terms as the mayor of Rockville, Phyllis Mercutio has stepped down from her post, and she passed the gavel on to the newly elected Bridget Newton. For Mercutio, her time in office was spent doing her best to maintain the small-town feel of the city while allowing growth to occur. We got some FaceTime with the beloved Phyllis Mercutio, where we discovered her true love is really the city of Rockville.
Hi, Susan. How are you?
You look lovely.
Oh, well, thank you.
It's so nice to see you. Thanks for coming out to talk to us. I really appreciate it very much.
Come on, anytime.
Yeah, this is great. This is beautiful.
It's quite a nice little spot.
I would have
We've
loved that.
often used it as mayor and council, you know, for a retreat or a special meeting.
And so they still keep it up.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it's quite
Wow.
fascinating. But there is quite a history to this place.
Oh, I could tell as soon as I drove up. Since 1942, you've been in Rockville. So was this something you always aspired
Oh,
to?
heavens, no. Oh, no, I would never have picked politics, and nor would I pick it now. Ooh, it's a tough proposition.
I, Phyllis Mercutio.
I, Phyllis Mercutio. If you're a sensitive soul, if you believe in truth and integrity and honesty and a half a dozen other good things, you're going to have a battle on your hands. It is not pretty. And, you know, I turned 80 in August, and I thought, you know, this old lady shouldn't be fighting that kind of stuff anymore.
You've been pretty open with your comments on how difficult it was to get things done with this council.
Absolutely.
And what was the problem there? What was the issue that was holding back getting your agenda moving forward?
It isn't so much that my agenda would move forward. It is the fact that an agenda that is good for the city would move forward. And the kinds of things that were proposed were all on the basis of benefiting the development community. Very little to benefit the community itself. We're planning all the time for those people who aren't here. Now, that's okay, because you have to think to your future, just like you think about your children or your grandchildren. But to plan your city in the fashion that it is servicing those individuals who haven't got a say-so, they're going to come to whatever's here, just isn't the right way to go about it.
Is there anything that you wish you could have accomplished that you weren't able to see through while you were here?
Well, of course, you know I want a science center. I'm Phyllis Mercutio, your mayor, and I'm going to talk about something that's very dear to my heart, and that is science. But of course, I don't expect the city to pay for it, but I was so distracted I couldn't work with the Science Center people except on Science Day, but I couldn't put my energies there and put them toward the city at the same time. So there's a good, strong group of individuals who are making that happen.
And is that something you might continue to work on
you
after
bet.
you leave office?
Absolutely.
We haven't seen the last of you on that issue?
Not at all, not at all. I'll do whatever I can.
So you've led your last meeting as mayor, is that not correct?
Yes, indeed.
How did that feel when that last meeting was over? Was it relief, or was there some bittersweetness to it?
Well, I had a bittersweet feeling before the meeting. The meeting was no different than a half a dozen others that we've had in the last several months. So, you know, it just seemed like business as usual. But the bittersweet part was really when people say goodbye. And they don't mean it in a permanent sense, but they want somehow to let you know that you mattered a little bit to them. And that was very sweet. I will miss talking to people. People talk to me all the time. I go in the grocery store and they'll just walk by me with their cart and they'll say, "Hi, Mayor," and just keep right on going. That's so precious. I just can't tell you how good it makes you feel, because they feel comfortable enough to say hello. Aww.
You my girl, you know that. Love you, girl. Good to see you.
Sweetie.
You know it. Everything's
Hey,
good.
all right.
Y'all doing an interview.
That's all right. You're more important, right?
When people say the name Phyllis Mercutio, what do you hope that they think when they hear your name?
Well, I hope they think that I was a good mayor, that I cared, that I reflected their needs. Those are the things that are important to me. After that, hey, you know how little time we're here? How little it matters. It matters that you do the best you can. Don't worry about anything afterward.
An icon of sorts retired from Einstein High School in Kensington after counseling students for half a century. Joseph Monty is 81 years old, and during his tenure, he guided thousands of students on their path to college. We were lucky enough to sit down and get some FaceTime with him recently, and he gave us a bit of his philosophy.
Well, here she
Hi,
is. Good to see
Susan
you.
Kennedy.
How
Nice
are
to
you?
meet you.
to meet
We saw
you.
the lovely poster out in the front office that they're.
You got to sign it.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Why are you retiring now?
I'm retiring because I'm in love. My wife of 50 years, whom I met in a classroom, said she wanted one gift for retirement for 50 years of marriage, and that was my retirement. So, as a good husband, what are you going to do with that? They might have carried me out of here, but now I'll at least walk out.
Tell me about your day. What time does it start?
Well, it starts very rigorously at 5:30 in the morning. I'm off to say my morning prayers.
Ask you how old you are.
81.
You're 81. Wow, you could have retired 16 years ago.
And we're going to go dancing. Let's go dancing. This 17-year-old is fascinating in that they are more idealistic than they want. Many of the things that they say no to, they mean yes. They're going to say no, and they're going to do what makes them appear to be part of the group, but at the same time, most of them are thinking independently, more so than they admit.
This is my man. I love this guy.
And you have to let them sound off and see through what do they really mean.
What do you guys think of Mr. Monty? Gonna miss him?
And they also will tell you a lot. Once the door is closed, they don't have to worry about peers. They can go and say what they want because the peers aren't there to hear.
And I think I can honestly say that Mr. Monty is the only one who competently and efficiently helped me out during this.
Tell me what the biggest lesson is that you can take away from your 50 years here.
The biggest lesson is that you have to look at each person you meet in a way that what do they have that they don't know they have? There's something also about human nature is that we underestimate our gifts. Our gifts are there.
It's kind of bittersweet. You know, on one end, he is an asset to the department. We would sincerely miss him and all of what he brings to the department. But on the other end, you know, it's only fair for him and his family to be able to enjoy him and his time in retirement. So it's bittersweet.
Well, that does it for this special edition of The Bottom Line. For County Cable Montgomery, I'm Susan Kennedy. Thanks for watching.